Risky behavior.
The views and opinions expressed on this channel are solely those of the host and guest and are intended for entertainment and discussion purposes only. This channel does not promote bias, hatred, or discrimination of any kind. All questions posed and thoughts shared are part of a critical thinking exercise and are not meant to offend or judge any individual or group. We encourage respectful dialogue and love for all. Please remember to think critically and engage thoughtfully. We aim to foster a positive and inclusive community where everyone feels welcome. Thank you for being a part of Risky Behavior ENT.
Risky behavior.
Yo, what's up? How y'all doing? Welcome back to Risky Behavior ENT. I am your humble host, Mr. Diabolical himself. Gonna be talking about a sad story yet again today. A woman was shot 15 times and ran over by a car. Today's title is 4 Months to Fatal. The murder of Starmichael Tucker. Yes, the relationship we're going to be talking about today that ended tragically. The timeline is only 4 months. That's it.
They have.
Okay.
Escalating deputies have made an arrest after a murder. Carson-Dowdy with the second-degree murder of his girlfriend. Now, family members have identified the victim as 30-year-old Star Tucker.
And Tucker's family spoke with WEAR's Haley Samples just a few hours ago. Haley, they shared with you just who Star Tucker was.
Bob Sue, her sister tells me in just a matter of hours, her worst nightmare became her reality.
I don't know, I'm sorry, I don't have all the right words. I'm tired. I haven't slept. I hardly eat. I'm just exhausted. I feel like I'm in a nightmare.
That's Tariah Tucker. She's the younger sister of Star Tucker. Her family says the 30-year-old was an active member of the Air Force and a Florida A&M alum. They say he also just started a relationship with Charles Carson-Dowdy.
He seemed sweet, seemed innocent, he seemed charming.
Thursday night, deputies were called to the parking lot of this apartment complex on Baldridge Drive. Sheriff Chip Simmons says they were responding to a call for shots fired and found Tucker in the parking lot.
The investigation revealed that the victim's boyfriend had fired about 15 to 16 shots and struck her 7
hospital. Her family later learning Carson-Dowdy.
In case you missed that, let's rewind to what he did. And also, the sister mentioned he seemed sweet at first. In today's show, we're also going to talk about properly vetting people and properly breaking up and leaving these relationships. But listen to what this guy did. I mean, he basically emptied the clip on this woman and said, well, hey, that's not good enough. Let me also run over her with the vehicle.
That the victim's boyfriend had fired about 15 to 16 shots and struck her 7 times at least, and then used her car to drive over her.
Tucker later died at the hospital. Her family later learning Carson-Dowdy was arrested and charged in the crime.
He didn't give off he could do something like this. But you never know until it's too late. I don't understand why he did what he did, because he could have just left. I just want justice as of now, and I won't stop until I get it.
Deputies say Charles Dowdy was arrested and booked into jail in Baldwin County, Alabama. They say he was in Tucker's car and had stopped after getting a flat tire. Tucker's family still in shock, wanting to know why.
We're going to continue to gather evidence, even though he's already in jail. And we're already working with the state attorney's office on prosecution. We're going to continue to to build the case even and make it even stronger so that he will remain in jail.
Looking at Carson-Dowdy's criminal history, he was arrested in Mobile in 2023 as a fugitive wanted for assault in Texas. In the studio, I'm Haley Samples.
Okay. Oh man, that's very sad. It's kind of hard to wrap your brain around. And this is not to give anybody else an excuse. Sometimes you hear about these murder cases, crime of passion, these relationships that end horribly. And you're talking about people that's been together 5, 10, 15, 20 years, right? And you can comprehend that, this is a relationship that is dissolving. You can comprehend that a person feels like, hey, I don't want to start over. I've invested so much into this relationships. You might have children with a person. You might have bought a house with a person, bought vehicles with a person. What the hell is 4 months? And we're going to watch some videos later on that even show where he said, my life is over, right? This is what he's quoted as saying to somebody, because apparently he was speaking to one of his coworkers because he was trying to escape and going to Alabama, I assume, to go into hiding, right? And a coworker was trying to convince him to turn himself in. And he said, well, my life is over. You're damn fucking right, dude. Why would you throw your life away for 4 fucking months? This is insane to do this to that woman. Okay. Let's continue. She was a mother, a medic, and a FAMU grad. The accused, the suspect, he was her boyfriend for just 4 months. On January the 2nd, 2025, Charles Carson-Dowdy shot Starmichael Tucker more than 15 times and ran over her twice. This wasn't a crime of passion. It was a crime of possession. We got to get that part correct. 4 months, this ain't a crime of passion. It's about possession, controlling. In today's episode, we dissect the murder of Starmichael Tucker, expose the cultural rot behind romantic entitlement, and give you the tools to vet, exit, and survive relationships that turn dangerous. This isn't just true crime, it's a warning. Now let's go over the quick facts. Then we're going to read this article. The location of the crime, Pensacola, Florida. Timeline, murder occurred January 2nd, 2025. The method, he shot over 15 times and ran over her with her own vehicle. So this dude ain't even got a car. He got to commit a crime and then run in the victim's car because he ain't apparently got his own vehicle. And all of this over 4-month relation. That ain't even really a relationship. 4 months. That's still brand new. It's crazy, man, how somebody can be possessive over 4 fucking months. That's insane. His charges are federal indictment for cyberstalking, interstate domestic violence, murder with a firearm, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. And when you look at those things, like even talk about cyberstalking, how do you do all this in 4 months? This is insane. All right. According to this article from the United States Attorney's Office, Northern District of Florida, Alabama man faces federal murder charges. Okay, Pensacola, Florida, Charles Carson-Dowdy, age 30 of Mobile, Alabama, has been indicted in federal court on charges of cyberstalking, interstate domestic violence, murder through use of a firearm, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon in relation to the death of Starmichael L. Tucker in Pensacola, Florida, earlier this year. So he was already convicted felon, and had been in trouble with the law. He ain't even supposed to have no gun. Ain't even supposed to have one. There we go. Blow that up even more. Get those words up there. John P. Heekin, United States Attorney for the Northern District of Florida, announced the charges. Carson-Dowdy is scheduled for his initial appearance and arraignment before United States Magistrate Judge Hope Ty Cannon at the United States Courthouse in Pensacola, Florida on August 28, 2025 at 11 a.m. If convicted, Carson-Dowdy faces up to life imprisonment on the charges in the indictment. Faces up to life. Life need to be where it started. The case is being jointly investigated by the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, Firearms, and Explosives, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office, Homeland Security Investigations, the Florida Department of Law Enforcement, and the State Attorney's Office. The case is being prosecuted by Assistant United States Attorney David L. Goldberg. An indictment is merely an allegation by a grand jury that a defendant has committed a violation of federal criminal law and is not evidence of guilt. Yeah, I mean, they gotta say that, but we know. All defendants are presumed innocent and entitled to a fair trial, during which it will be the government's burden to prove guilt beyond a reasonable doubt at trial. Okay. Yeah, they gotta say that. We know. We already know. We already know. We already know. Okay. Oh, I forgot. I got another news video. I just like to go over everything. Sometimes you hear things that somebody else in a previous article or news report might not have mentioned. Also coming up, we got body cam. Shout out to the Law and Crime Network. We got body cam footage coming up. I'm gonna share of that. Oh man, I apologize. Technical difficulties.
First on 5, a man arrested for murder. He's accused of killing a woman in Escambia County, Florida last night at an apartment complex in Ferry Pass.
And listen to this. She was shot, then run over. And deputies tell WKRG News 5's Alexa Daly her boyfriend is responsible.
A brutal killing at the crossings on Baldridge Drive Thursday night.
The victim was shot at least 7 times by her boyfriend and then run over at least twice.
The sheriff's office says the victim, identified by old Starmichael Tucker, was transported to a local hospital where she died. Investigators say the suspect, 30-year-old Charles Jerome Carson-Dowdy, left the scene in the victim's Jeep Cherokee.
We contacted the Alabama authorities, and they did find that Jeep Cherokee with a flat tire on the interstate just inside the Alabama line.
Carson-Dowdy was taken into custody by Spanish Fort Police and booked into the Baldwin County Jail just before 1 a.m. Friday. He will be extradited to Escambia County, Florida.
You can't just escape one jurisdiction and think you're going to get away. I think that the speed at which we developed the information was important, and obviously the partnerships and relationships that we built, the communication, in cooperation with other agencies was very important.
Family members described Tucker as a bright light, a phenomenal mother, and someone who was selfless and determined. They say they hope justice is served. The sheriff says Carson-Dowdy faces a second-degree murder charge. In Escambia County, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5.
A man arrested for murder. He's accused of killing a woman in Escambia County, Florida.
I'm gonna play it one more time because I think some of it. I think the I'm sorry, I had technical difficulties. I think I might have to restart everything, but I'm gonna rewind this. Hopefully it.
Last night at an apartment complex in Ferry Pass.
And listen to this. She was shot, then run over. And deputies tell WKRG News 5's Alexa Daly her boyfriend is responsible.
A brutal killing at the crossings on Baldridge Drive Thursday night.
The victim was shot at least 7 times by her boyfriend and then run over at least twice.
The sheriff's office says the victim, identified by family as 30-year-old Starmichael Tucker, was transported to a local hospital where she died. Investigators say the suspect, 30-year-old Charles Jerome Carson-Dowdy, left the scene in the victim's Jeep Cherokee.
We contacted the Alabama authorities, and they did find that Jeep Cherokee with a flat tire on the interstate just inside the Alabama line.
Carson-Dowdy was taken into custody by Spanish Fort before 1 a.m. Friday.
In this picture, it looks like you can see a mark actually on his face, right below his left eye. Yeah.
He will be extradited to Escambia County, Florida.
The speed at which we developed the information was important, and obviously the partnerships and relationships that we've built, the communication and cooperation with other agencies was very important.
Family members described Tucker as a bright light, a phenomenal mother, and someone who was selfless and determined. They say they hope justice is served. The sheriff says Carson-Dowdy faces a second-degree murder charge. In Escambia County, Alexa Daly, WKRG News 5.
All right. Oh, let's blow this up. Let's blow this up. All right, this is an article from Pensacola News Journal. Man accused of shooting, running over Pensacola woman multiple times, federally indicted. I just breeze over this real quick. It probably covers some of the same information from the other previous article. It says Alabama man originally charged in Escambia County for murder after allegedly shooting Pensacola woman before running her over with his vehicle multiple times in January has now been indicted by a federal grand jury. So this is just covering the fact that he was indicted. Charles Carson-Dowdy was federally charged with cyberstalking, interstate domestic violence, murder with a firearm, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Carson-Dowdy allegedly shot 30-year-old Starmichael Tucker January 2nd for allegedly running over her multiple times in the 9100 block of Baldridge Drive. She died shortly after Escambia County Sheriff's deputies arrived on the scene. The U.S. Attorney's Office says Carson-Dowdy will be arraigned on his charges August 28th. Following Tucker's death, Carson-Dowdy was originally charged on his state charge of second-degree murder with a firearm. The News Journal reached out to the office of the state attorney regarding whether his state charge will be dropped following his federal indictment. However, we did not receive an immediate response. Okay. So that just touched on his charges and if the state is going to drop it and the federal pick it up. Okay. All right. Let's talk a little bit about the motive. The motive and escalation. Carson-Dowdy's motive appears to be rooted in control and rage after Tucker tried to leave the relationship. And it's no telling. I guess it's more, hopefully more details come out. Family members could probably speak to that. We know he had a criminal background. She could have been trying to leave him for multiple reasons, including something as simple as, you know what, I don't think, we've been on a couple of dates. I don't think you're the one. I don't want to be with you anymore. Or she could have found out about him having a criminal background and said, I don't want to be with you anymore. Or he could have just been irritating and annoying and came off very controlling. She said, hey, I don't want to be with you anymore. I pointed out on his mugshot, he had a mark under his eye. I wonder where they, was she trying to fight him off that night? Okay, now the escalation from cyberstalking to murder shows how digital harassment can be a precursor to physical violence. Yes, it can be. You got to take it seriously. These people stalking you and saying things on the internet. Don't take it as a joke or they're just upset and they'll just come down. Nope. Take it very seriously. His federal charges reflect a pattern of behavior, not a one-time snap. So it's basically a gradual buildup. And then when you see he has a criminal history of assault, you see that, hey, this is a person that can get violent. Let's see.
Was gunned down by her own boyfriend. Then he took it a step further and ran her over multiple times with her car. Then he fled to Alabama. Now federal prosecutors are building a case against him. We're breaking down what allegedly led this man to shoot and kill his girlfriend, who he just began dating.
Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner. Deputies in Florida report this man fired at his girlfriend more than 15 times. Now, we got our hands on the federal court documents, which charges the 30-year-old with cyberstalking, interstate domestic violence, murder through the use of a firearm, plus more.
The early stages of a relationship are supposed to be fun. You're getting to know someone new, spending time together, all of that. Dowdy obviously graduated from Florida A&M University with a nursing degree. She served in the Air Force for a little bit. Then the California native was working in Pensacola while also caring for her young son. Starmichael's sister Rhea previously told WEAR News in Florida her sister was the light that shined through everyone's darkness. Rhea told the outlet that she didn't see any red flags in the few short months that her sister was dating Charles. She initially thought that he seemed sweet and innocent, and as a couple, they looked happy. But about 3 to 4 months into the relationship, something allegedly snapped in Charles. Back in early January, the Escambia County Sheriff's Office began investigating a homicide. A woman was found shot multiple times at a local apartment complex. The woman was ID'd as Starmichael. The sheriff saying at the time at least 15 shots were fired at her, with about 7 of those bullets hitting her. As if that wasn't horrific enough, deputies say her killer ran over her with her own Jeep, then backed up over her before eventually getting away. She was transported to a hospital, but she died from her injuries. Sheriff Chip Simmons told local reporters at the time of the murder, whatever triggered this, obviously it's unwarranted, this use of violence. But to use this level of violence, this to run over Starmichael was eventually found over in Alabama. And guess who was driving her Jeep? None other than Starmichael's boyfriend, Charles. It's been reported that when deputies were on scene at the apartment complex, they got word that Charles had contacted the father of Starmichael's child. Charles allegedly told him that Starmichael was dead and that he didn't want to talk about what happened. But it seemed that he might have called someone else too. According to WEAR, a man called 911 a short time after saying that he knew where Charles was located. The man told dispatchers he heard about the shooting and recognized the apartment complex because he previously worked with Charles and would often drop him off to that very same apartment complex. The coworker who called 911 reportedly texted Charles asking if he was okay, and he allegedly responded not at all. Charles allegedly told the man he shot Starmichael like 16 times. Charles allegedly claimed that when he was with Starmichael, everything was good. Then something sent him into a rage and he shot her multiple times. According to the report, Charles told the man that he was underneath the bridge heading to Mobile, Alabama. Deputies reportedly tried to get the
Hey, you lying, talking about something happened. Yeah, she was leaving your ass. And you feel like she's yours to own and she can't go nowhere. That's what the something was that happened.
coworker to call Charles back so they could listen in and get more information. Charles picked up telling the man that he was waiting for someone to come look at the car tire because he had a flat. The coworker said that he encouraged Charles to turn himself in, but Charles allegedly said he was scared. Deputies used that information to track him down. He was arrested by Spanish Fort police a short while later. According to police, Charles allegedly had a gun in the center console of the Jeep, and he reportedly didn't say much either, except, "My life is over." When he was extradited back to Florida, he was charged with second-degree murder, and a judge denied him bond. That was earlier this year. Just this week, federal prosecutors announced Charles has been indicted by a federal grand jury. According to the indictment, under count 1, Charles Carson-Dowdy, with the intent to kill, injure, harass, intimidate, and place under surveillance with the intent to kill, injure, harass, and intimidate another person, that is Starmichael L. Tucker, did use an electronic communication and electronic communication system of interstate commerce and a facility of interstate and foreign commerce, to wit, a cellular telephone, interstate wires, and the internet, to engage in a course of conduct that caused and attempted to cause and would be responsibly accepted to cause substantial emotional distress to that person, and in the course of engaging in such conduct cause the death of that person. Under count 2, Charles is accused of traveling in interstate commerce with the intent to kill, injure, harass, and intimidate an intimate partner and dating partner, and in the course of and as a result of such travel and presence, committed a crime of violence against the intimate partner and dating partner, to wit, the murder of Starmichael L. Tucker. Under count 3, Charles is accused of knowingly and carrying a handgun during and in relation to a crime of violence for which he may be prosecuted in a court of the United States, that is interstate domestic violence, as charged in count 2 of the indictment. Under count 4, Charles allegedly did knowingly discharge, use, and carry a firearm, that is a handgun, during and in relation to a crime of violence. And finally, under count 5, Charles is accused of knowing that he had previously been convicted of a crime punishable by imprisonment for a term exceeding 1 year, knowingly possessed a firearm and ammunition in and affecting interstate and foreign commerce. Now, that charge came about because, according to the indictment, in August of 2024, Charles was convicted in Texas of criminal mischief, and even after his conviction, allegedly possessed a pistol and 9mm ammunition. Now, if Charles is convicted on his federal charges, he's facing up to life in prison. Now, he hasn't entered a plea yet for his federal charges. He'll be arraigned later in the week.
I'm joined now by criminal defense attorney Safa Robinson-Ferrer to break this down even further. Safa, are you surprised that these federal charges came 7 months after Charles Carson-Dowdy?
Okay. So that goes back to the article we was reading, that the state dropped it, federal stepped in and took over that. So 4-month relationship, 4-month relationship. You hear, "Oh, my life is over. My life is over." That's what he said. My life is over. Yeah, because you killed somebody. Like, dude, like, what the hell is wrong with you? Like, the hell? Like, you killed somebody that you ain't even know. You ain't even know this person like that. And you killed them. That was smart, I guess. Like, the hell, man. 4 months, dog. I know it hurt, like, to get broke up with. You know what I'm saying? Your feelings be, you know what I'm saying? Your feeling be hurt, especially when you got a beautiful woman. You know what I'm saying? And she was the shit. Air Force and intelligent, and you know what I'm saying? And all that. She was all that. And you losing her. I get it. And you ain't got no car. You got to drive her car. You got to commit a crime and then try to flee in her car. tire go flat. You don't even know how to fix it. Like, what the fuck? Like, I get it. Let me share my screen. I get it. I get it. Okay. Let me see. Did I blow that up enough? Okay. All right. So the next I want to go over this next, and then I'm gonna play the body cam footage from that night, which is very, very disturbing. And it's sad, even like with the police that showed up on the scene and one of the officers that seen her laying there, you could just tell he was very disturbed. Just you could hear the heartbreak in his voice, him being there. You know, you didn't even have to see anything because you know they kind of blurred her out, but you didn't even have to see anything. You could hear it in his voice, the heartbreak. It no mistaking, you know. So real quickly, I want to talk about how to break up safely. And I just want to say this is just something I want to touch on just to help people, but of course it's not a foolproof plan. Nothing ever is foolproof. There are no absolutes in life. How to break up safely. Key tips are ending things in public or with someone nearby if you feel unsafe. And in this story that we're talking about, now, could you break up with somebody publicly and then they double back and sneak and get you later? Yes. But I would say for somebody like him, and I'm telling you, for the women, especially, and really men and women, if you have somebody like this that's cyber stalking you, please break up with them publicly. Take somebody that you know can protect you. And I would take things so seriously to the point that if you have to, I understand we all got to work, but money ain't worth more than your life. If you need to take some time off, go stay with family. Seriously. I think sometimes people have those thoughts and they think, well, I'm not going to do all that because I got to work. You know, I still got to make money. And he's just upset. He'll calm down. And I'm looking at stories like this and it's like, nah, sometimes people don't calm down. Right. Next tip is avoid prolonged emotional explanations. Clarity and boundaries protect you. Meaning shut the door all the way. Do not leave it cracked. Don't prolong it. Don't make the person feel like, because when you overly emotionally explain yourself, you open the door for the rebuttal for a person to feel like, well, since you said this, I say that, I can get you. No, be clear and concise. Number 3 would be document threats or harassment immediately. So that's the cyber stalking. Any text messages, don't just screenshot them, save them, report them to the police. Also, send these to family and friends. So even if something does happen, we can catch the person, we can get them. They're not going to get away with it. That's what you want to do. Number 4, consider a safety plan with trusted friends or professionals. And that goes back to what I was saying before, even when it comes to these things and breaking up. If you've documented a history of this person harassing you, seeming like they're going to be violent, have an exit strategy. What do we do in these situations? How can we keep you safe? You need to come stay with me. You come stay with me. Okay. Any coworkers or people that you trust, hey, let's carpool. I'll ride with you to work. And that's not to say to put people in danger, right? Because if it's a coworker that you don't really know like that, I can understand not wanting them, because that that'll hurt you if you have somebody and you carpool with them and they maybe didn't sign up for your beef. And what if something happens to them and they get hurt? But I'm just saying, a lot of people have work friends. So hey, if you need to go stay with family and friends and then work out a plan where, for a week or 2 weeks or 3 weeks, if you have to, hey, let's carpool, go with somebody, man. But take this stuff seriously, man. I know people don't want to believe that people can act like this, but sometimes they can. So I don't know. There's an article I found from Psychology Today. It says 12 ways to exit a relationship gracefully, 12 things to do, and 5 not to do when a relationship is ending. Okay. Key points of this article: fulfill any open obligations and promises. Don't leave the other person in a tough, vulnerable position. I'm against that part though. If somebody dangerous, I don't feel nothing. Just disappear. Go. So we'll see what this person says. I don't know if it'll relate to this story. But okay. Number 1, it's the lasting impression that you will leave. No matter how many flowers you bought for the other person, how many times you listen to the same story from that person, how generous you have been with your time and resources, the lasting memory that you'll leave will be about how you exited stage left and made the other person feel in the process. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know if I like this one. Is that the 5 to not do? Okay. I won't read the first 5. I'll just read the 12. How to exit a relationship properly and respectfully. Here are 12 things to do. Okay. Number 1, do it face to face in an appropriate venue. Unless you are interdimensional relationship, take the time and effort to meet the other person in person, and don't do it in a place where you can't really hear each other, like a meat packing plant. That would be a chicken's way out. Okay, I guess they wanted to throw some humor in there. Yeah, well, we said that earlier. Make it public and take somebody with you if you need to, if you feel like it's unsafe. But definitely we do it in person. But I don't know, and I'm inclined to go against this because if it's about your safety and a person you think is a threat, I'd say shoot them a text and just disappear on their behind. Seriously, fuck them. Number 2, fulfill your obligations and promises. If you promise to do something, just do it, or at least try to do it, assuming that it isn't something like never break up with you or have sex every day. If you can't fulfill your promises, then try your best to help find alternatives for the person. Yeah, I don't know. If you're dealing with like a controlling narcissist, sometimes that can be a way to string you along and keep you in a relationship and not let you leave, because it's like, you did tell me you was going to be helping me find a job. So I don't know. Nah, I don't agree with that one. Number 3, don't leave the other person in a tough, vulnerable position. This relationship isn't working, so bye and good luck on your major surgery this week, your family member's funeral this weekend, or the fire that's currently burning down your house is not a good look. In fact, it can be cruel and a piling on type of matter. Instead, take the effort and time to make sure that the other person has a safe landing. Yeah, I agree with that one, but the problem is when you with a narcissist, they always feel like you left them in a tough, vulnerable position. So there's no way to escape that when you're dealing with a crazy, controlling ass psychopath. Now, don't keep blaming the other person. Telling the other person how bad he or she is may make you feel temporarily. My bad, y'all. I don't know why I got tongue tied with that. Telling the other person how bad he or she is making you temporarily telling the other person how bad he or she is may make you temporarily feel better. Oh my God, why did I struggle with that? But all it may end up doing is convincing that person how nasty you are. Remember, if a relationship hasn't been working out, chances are the other person has his or her gripes about you as well. Okay. Number 5, admit what you didn't do right. If you think all the blame rests on the other person, then you may have identified a big reason why the relationship didn't work out. You and your lack of self-awareness and insight. As they say, it takes two to tango. Yeah. I think that's a part of the reason why the person, that guy would shoot her, is he would struggle with this part right here. In his mind, blaming the other person, but not blaming himself. And then she wants to leave. He doesn't want to let her go. And then he shoots her 15 times and runs over her. Number 6, be frank and honest. Avoid saying things like, it's me, not you, when you know darn well that you're not exiting the relationship primarily to help the other person. The other person deserves to know the real reason why you are leaving. Number 7, avoid cliches. Relying on a hackneyed line such as, I'm sorry it didn't work out, best of luck, can make the other person feel like the other end of social media post. Might as well add a hashtag to it. Cold heart. Put hashtag cold heart. Cliches can come across as cold and contrived, conveying that you didn't take the time and effort to come up with something more personal. Okay. Number 8, do not expect anything from the other person. Remember, once you have initiated a breakup, that person no longer has any obligations towards you. You're hitting the breakup button signals that you are not willing to do what it may take to maintain the relationship. Don't expect the other person to answer your probing questions, keep giving you housing, or somehow entertaining you. Number 9, don't wait for the other person to ask you whether you're going to leave. If you are about to make a move that will effectively end a relationship, tell the other person first before doing so. That person shouldn't have to ask you or find out from others, say on TikTok. Okay. I guess they're trying to be it's like a little hip little article. Number 10, don't brag about yourself to try to make the person miss you. Telling the other person something like, good luck finding someone as good as me, or on your way out, is effectively rubbing dirt in the wounds that you have just caused. That in turn could leave the person thinking, yeah, I'd like to find someone who wouldn't try to kick me while I am down. Number 11, don't expect the other person to chase after you. Self-explanatory. Number 12, don't make it all about you. Show compassion. Okay. I don't know if that article would help with anything dealing with this. Matter of fact, I'm gonna look up another one. How to break up with a psychopath. I don't think that article would help in the situation she was in. How should I put it? How to break up with with a controlling, maybe with a controlling, maybe dangerous partner. Maybe that's better. That one's for like if you're breaking up with somebody that ain't dangerous. But I mean, I guess it's good information to know, I guess. I don't know. Okay. Let me see if this is a good one. Okay. All right. I found something that I'll read instead of that one. Let me share my screen. Those breakup points, they were good, but I don't know if they was necessarily helpful when dealing with a controlling person, but I think I covered it enough. My thing is, which I think we could all agree, that the key points to remember when you're dealing with somebody like that dangerous: document everything. That's the most important thing you need to know. Document everything, report everything, break up publicly, take somebody with you you can trust, have an exit strategy. If you need to, go stay with family, friends. If you need to, carpool when going to work. Um, try not to be by yourself, especially in those beginning stages. Sometimes you can get people to time to calm down, and they will. Okay. All right. So this one's from marriage.com. 15 signs of a controlling relationship. So this definitely something I need to go over. What is a controlling relationship? Is there an obvious controlling relationship behavior to look out for? Okay, so they said I got 15 signs of a controlling relationship. Number one is an unhealthy power dynamic in your relationship. Your partner is the one making all the decisions in your relationship, and you have got no choice but to follow. You might be forced to put your goals and aspirations on the back burner. Number two, your partner finds faults in everything you do. Their destructive criticism keeps making you feel like you're not good enough to be loved by anyone, and your controlling partner is doing you a favor by being in a relationship with you. That they do. I think men go, because now I'm thinking about reading that. I've been in a relationship before like that. Like, a person make you feel like you lucky to be with me. Like, bitch, who is you? Anyway, number three, the controlling partner tries to isolate you from your friends, family, or anybody you're close with. They find problems with your friends' behaviors and keep telling you to stay away from them for one reason or another. That is the first thing an abusive person do, because they do not want your support system around at all. Okay. Number four, when you deal with controlling people, they manipulate you in a way that makes you codependent. You start having a hard time making decisions, even simple ones like what to wear on a casual night out. Number five, veiled threats and emotional abuse are regular parts of your life. You live in a constant fear of them doing something spiteful if you don't do as they say. Yep. Number six, they love you conditionally and with strings attached. You hear them saying things like, I'll love you more if you do that for me, or I'll spend more time with you if you stop hanging out with your best friend. Okay. And that's a part of that whole separating you from your friend, your support system. I'm telling you, they're the people that got your back, man. Especially, man, when I be watching these true crime shows and the man do something to the woman. You know who saw that case? Her homegirls, her favorite cousin, her auntie, and her mama. Then the people got your back. The police don't even be doing nothing. Them family and friend, boy. That's why I don't even know why some of these guys think they can get away with doing something to a woman. She done told her homegirl all your business. She been took a picture of your license and sent it to her homegirl, so if something happened, they know where to send the police. I don't know why these guys think they can do anything to women. Women be, man, that's one thing about women. They do keep them safe when they do not allow that person to separate them from their support system, man. I'm telling you, you can count on it. She done told everybody your business, so you're not getting away with it. That secret pregnancy and that time you cheated and you said, well, don't tell nobody about it. And she said, baby, don't, I wouldn't do that. she lied to your ass, dog. She told everybody. So when you do something, that's the motive that the family is going to tell the police about. Number 7, when you deal with a controlling partner, they make you always feel indebted to them. You have to work hard to earn their love. They keep score and make you feel guilty if you fail to indulge their whims. Number 8, you have no privacy. Be it your Facebook password to your bank account details. They need to have access to every bit of your life. They demand complete transparency in the name of love. Number 9, in a controlling relationship, you regularly find yourself saying sorry without knowing what you did to hurt them. It looks like every step you take somehow annoys your partner. Number 10, your partner doesn't trust you enough and keeps snooping on you. You keep reporting your whereabouts to your partner because they get paranoid if they don't know where you are all the time. Number 11, your partner wants others to feel indebted. Number 11, your partner wants others to feel indebted to them for everything they do and indulge their every whim. If not, you may have to face their angry outburst. That's crazy. So they don't just do it to you, they do it to the other people around them or something. Or like, say if he did something for your mama, yeah, your mama know I hooked her cable up, and stuff like that. Y'all can tell I'm kind of old. I'm from back in the day where hooking up cable was a big deal. Oh man. Let's see. Okay. I was on 12. Your partner might show signs of extreme jealousy. They may also intimidate and threaten you to have control over you. Number 13, they tend to gaslight others and call them crazy or irrational if things don't go their way. If something goes wrong in the relationship, they take on the role of a victim and make others feel guilty. That's very true. And number 14, they try to change their partners and make them feel insignificant. They don't respect the boundaries others set and can't take no for an answer. Number 15 is they might show signs of abusive behavior. And in the case that we're talking about, he did have a criminal background. And to me, to be honest with you, everything 1 through 14, those are the signs of abusive behavior. Every last one of them that we just read. I'm glad I read that article. So cool. I like that article. The article before, it was good information, but I don't know if it would help somebody in a controlling relationship like this stuff we're reading right here in this list. Those things, if you were in a somewhat healthy relationship, but y'all just not compatible, how do you break up with them? That was good advice for that. So I'm glad we read this. How to get out of a I'm glad we read this, so the signs and when to leave. But I think we did a great job coming up with our own list, which is break up with them publicly in front of everybody. Take somebody that you can trust. Document everything that they do, every interaction, any post, anytime they come onto your page. Report it if you must. Get a restraining order, anything like that. After the breakup, if you need to, go stay with family and friends. You got somebody you work with that you're real cool with, and you want to tell them about your situation. Carpool, go to work with them, and just do that until the relationship calms down. But once again, though, I have to say none of this is foolproof. So, but it's just a way that you could help yourself, give the other person time to calm down and keep you safe and keep you away from them, and just create that separation. Let's see. Okay, so I am done with that. Okay. All right. So next up, I do want to play let's see. All right. Close that. All right. So what is this? Okay. All right. All right. Shout out to Law and Crime Network, man. I be using a lot of their videos and a lot of their stuff, man. I like the Law and Crime Network. I be watching so much stuff on their channel. It's so crazy. I was just watching the recent story of the woman. She what was she? I believe they said she was from Israel, and she used to be in the military. And after that, she started making content and stuff. She's a beautiful girl. But now they're accusing her because she's been dating these older guys, and then the older men are now trying to say like she robbed them or whatever and stuff like that. But you could tell it's like a obvious these older men trying to be with a younger woman, sugar baby type stuff, man. But I was like, it's such a crazy story, man. All right.
Can't tell where she's bleeding from.
Jesus Christ.
159.
Go ahead.
Check your vitals. I got a black female that's been run over. She's beat up pretty good.
These were the moments Florida officers responded to the scene of a mom being gunned down outside of her apartment.
Look at her, man. Look at that beautiful smile, man. Like who could just aim a gun and pull the trigger 15 times? Like that's some rage over 4 months relationship. Come on. And you know what scares me the most is when you see pictures of these people, or even like the guy, like when you see him in court, he got the dreads. But before that, when you see him clean cut, he's a handsome looking guy, man. You wouldn't think he'd do something like this. Like, this is insane.
Allegedly at the hands of her boyfriend.
I guess.
Okay.
We'll explain what led up to the horrific shooting, plus how the alleged killer managed to almost flee to another state.
All right, my bad. I had to pause it because it seemed like it was another technical difficulty. You know what's so crazy? Like
How the alleged killer.
Like this guy, he reminded me of somebody I knew before. It was a guy I used to work with, right? And I know this is like his mug shot, but just think outside of his mug shot. Like if you saw this guy at Starbucks, you wouldn't think that this is the guy that shoots somebody 15 times and runs over them with a car. And it reminded me, I used to work with this guy. I mean, talk to him every day. And he was quiet. I mean, just a cool, nice guy. And then I remember he ended up being on the news. His father had ended up recently passing away, and then I think he went and tried to I think he tried to rob a store or something, ended up getting chased and shooting at the police and stuff. It's just insane, you just never know what people are going to do. And that's why after this we're going to talk about vetting and stuff, because looks can be deceiving. You damn sure can't judge a book by its cover.
Managed to almost flee to another state.
Thanks for joining us on Law and Crime. I'm Elizabeth Milner. We brought you this story just a couple weeks ago. Deputies in Florida say a man shot at his girlfriend more than 15 times, and that was before allegedly running her over with her own car.
37 10 left, 10 left. It looks like the victim was ran over also by that black Jeep. Newer SUV. I don't have a tag number or anything.
Escambia County, Florida. It was there they found 30-year-old Starmichael Tucker, or as loved ones call her, Star. She was suffering from horrific and gruesome injuries as her neighbors rendered aid.
It's going to be the very back of the complex.
Very, very hold it now.
I know, we're going, but I wouldn't be. Can't tell where she's bleeding from.
Jesus Christ. 159.
Go ahead.
Check your vitals. I got a black female that's been run over. She's beat up pretty good.
There's gunshots.
She's moving. There were like 6 or 7.
For EMS can come in?
Absolutely. Possible gunshots. I got a broken leg for sure. And head injuries. She has a faint pulse. Let me get my AD. Hang on. Other units coming in. We're going to need to set up just a little perimeter for evidence. Is she breathing?
Then you advise somebody wants to contact them, you need to contact them, see what the second victim if there is one.
So CPR?
The person you want in contact refused to say where he was other than he'll be there when you guys got there and he was afraid to check on the victim.
Pull right here.
Outstanding, thank you. Stay calm.
CPR.
Follow these instructions. Make sure 911 is called now. Begin by exposing patients to remove or cut clothing if needed.
And I guess they got a machine now that kind of like talks them through what to do and stuff. This is the first time I ever heard something like this on a body cam. But y'all see what I was saying earlier? It's like you can hear in that officer's voice, like when he's seeing what he's seeing, is like, what the fuck? Like, oh my God. And it's always crazy. Like, even the people, when they said, we can't tell where she's bleeding from. Like, that's how much damage he's done. And then for him to be able to look at her body and say that her leg broke for sure. Oh my God.
When patient's chest is bare, remove the white square package from lid of AED. Tear open white package across dotted line and remove pads. Peel one of the white pads completely from blue plastic. Begin pulling from the tabbed corner. Peel one of the white pads completely from blue plastic. Begin pulling from the tabbed corner. Firmly place the pad without the blue plastic on patient's bare chest, exactly as shown on pad. This pad can be placed on either of the 2 locations as shown on pads. Do not touch the patient.
Don't touch her.
Analyzing heart rhythm. Please wait.
159, AED hooked up.
Analyzing heart rhythm.
At 2034.
Wait. Shock not advised. It is now safe to touch the patient.
Keep going.
If needed, perform CPR as instructed. Place heel of one hand on center of chest between nipples. Place heel of other hand directly on top of first hand. Lean over patient with elbows straight.
We need to look for shell casings.
Yeah, I need to find this in the
Yeah, just pull everything out. It's in the drawer.
Start CPR. Press, 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 press.
Come on.
Press, press.
We don't need that.
Press, press.
Just keep doing the CPR.
Press, 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 press.
Deputies gave Starmichael CPR while waiting for EMTs to arrive.
Huh?
Right chest?
Yeah, I got GSW right here.
Continue with compressions. Press, 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 press.
Hold.
Press, 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 press. Stop compression. Press.
And you know it's like such a bad scene because even though they got her blurred out, sometimes when they're moving and like you just seen with him doing CPR, you catch glimpse of, you know, just the skin and blood, you know? And you're like, oh man, like it just points to like how could you just do this to somebody? Like just completely slaughter them. It's just like it's just heartless, to be honest, man. You're like a fucking like you're a demon to do that to somebody.
Continue with compressions. Press, 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 press,
Hold.
press, 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 stop compression. Press.
Will you locate all the... How old is she approximately?
No idea.
Approximately.
Where's the other patient?
We don't know. This is all we saw when we got here. Yeah, for right now. I got a shell casing here. Start marking them. Put them on my head. I'm covered in...
You got anything about a second victim?
This is all we found. We came straight here. Gunshots and possibly ran over with a vehicle. That's literally right now all we got.
What's right press?
Continue with compression.
Do you want me to unhook this?
Can I get one of y'all to do it?
To do what?
Press, 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 press. You got it? Press,
159.
Go ahead.
We're getting a call. I want you to call his phone number to the note. He's saying he received a text from Carson-Dowdy that says Star is dead at 2034.
Well, unless somebody else can give him a call.
Now, that last little piece of info that came in over the police radio would be a huge clue into capturing the alleged killer. I'll explain more in just a bit. But during this intense moment, first responders were just worried about saving Starmichael's life.
Try to keep an eye on the majority of... You're good. Just leave it. Just leave it. They're fine. Let them do their job. We'll deal with the evidence later.
Victim had an apartment 7106 at that same location, about 26 of me. One out there has that 7106.
Damn it. And you can see the officer, he don't care about his life. I apologize if the screen went out. Technical difficulties, but I was pointing out the officer and his frustration. He just want to save the victim's life. He's putting it first before even trying to catch the bad guy. Just save her and stuff.
I don't even know who the is yet. So, I went to grab her for a finger. He grabbed her hand and put it up on the thing. I'm like, really? Uncovered completely.
We're trying to locate that apartment down. 10-437. Sorry, don't know what it is. It's right here next to her. Put somebody at the door and lock it down for me.
She eventually had to be rushed to the hospital. Now, while deputies were gathering evidence, they learned Starmichael had a child, and they were worried there might possibly be another victim.
So not only was she hit by a car too?
I guess.
Okay. Just knowing the secret right now?
Yep.
I'm gonna wait until EMS gets on here so I can
Okay. We have no ID yet.
What's that? 37.
So the name they gave over the radio is in Fresh 14?
I don't know. I didn't hear any of that because I was dealing with her.
Okay.
So whatever was said over the radio, I have no idea.
Is that not a fragment?
Is it?
That's a fragment. Yeah, there's a bunch.
Okay. Yeah, this whole place is littered with them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Get as much of it as you can. Yeah. Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Once I heard
This right there where he's standing is the apartment. I'm guessing that's his shirt, possibly. And then there's a casing over there, and then they're all over the place. There's one under the paw. Cover right here.
I apologize. I rewinded a little bit. I think it might have glitched a little bit. So.
Is that not a fragment?
Is it?
That's a fragment. Yeah, right there's there.
Okay. Yeah, this whole place is littered with them.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Get as much of it as you can. Yeah, you're gonna have to.
Once I heard that they were going to secret, I backed up a little bit.
This is this scene, but right there where he's standing is the apartment. I'm guessing that's his shirt, possibly. And then there's a casing over there, and then they're all over the place. There's one under the paw. And that's what
I don't think so.
No.
I gotta get my flashlight.
Let's do a second sweep of cars just to make sure.
Yeah, the victim's a woman.
And then we got.
Hey, Clint, you got my flashlight, bub? Who'd I hand it to? Probably. Where did she go? She's interviewing people.
Yeah, just do a sweep of the cars. Make sure none of these got in the building.
You got my flashlight? Where are you wandering to?
So there's this guy. Well, I'm waiting for the property manager.
Oh, wait up here.
So I can get her picking.
Wait up here. She'll be along in a minute. No, just throw it in the back. We'll get rid of everything.
I think we looked on the outside, but I think the homeowners were already outside talking to each other.
Yeah, I was like, I hate this guy.
14 only. He thinks the suspect's in run to his house.
He said that there was a black Jeep Cherokee parked out here who is this person's, the female who's unaccounted for and her son's unaccounted. That is her car. She always parks here. They're not sure if that's her, but that's the car that they saw pulling out after the shot.
Okay.
Buys another kid.
Do we have another?
No, there's a kid.
She has a
that's
small
missing.
child that's not here, and no one.
So there's a black Jeep Cherokee that is supposed to be here?
And is this residence, and they're saying that that's the car that they saw peel out of the
Oh, okay, yeah, the black Jeep. They've already, somebody already gave dispatch a 28 on it and everything.
Okay.
But I'm saying like that's this residence.
Yeah.
The one
Oh,
that lives
yeah,
here with the small child.
Okay. Yeah. And the small child's gone.
Yes.
Does dispatch know about the small child?
159. All right, somewhere in all this, there is a small child involved. We're not sure at this point if it's the victim's child or not, but the child is currently unaccounted for.
Hagen said something about.
We got a call south end that the victim's child is supposed to be with the father at the address. According to the call of Grand Route, yes.
Did Chuck have anything to say?
I didn't answer that.
I'm 26, still kind of tied up here.
I spoke to Brian on the phone. The kid is with him.
All right, good. Thank you.
Let dispatch know that.
There enough.
Okay.
So he's probably heading back to Richmond. So I told the dispatch to notify Baldwin and Mobile.
Oh,
They'll smoke
take him out. You guys are good. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm just covering blood, but I'm good.
Okay.
Thankfully, her child was okay, but for Starmichael herself, her life came to a tragic end. She died at the hospital from her injuries. The search was on for her killer, but investigators had two clues to work off of. First, they had to find Starmichael's child, who again, thankfully, they later learned was safe and physically unharmed. During the chaos of trying to save her life, deputies were alerted that the child was with their father, who called law enforcement. The father of Starmichael's child reportedly told them that he was contacted by Starmichael's boyfriend, Charles Carson-Dowdy. Charles allegedly told the child's father he knew Starmichael was dead, and he didn't want to talk about what happened. So it seems at initial glance, maybe Charles has something to do with it. That's clue one. Second clue.
And ain't that crazy? How you calling? You imagine having a child with somebody and they with some dude only 4 months. This nigga calling you. Oh, I know she dead. What happened? I don't want to talk about it.
Clue. Investigators needed to find Starmichael's Jeep Cherokee, which you heard on the body cam video was missing from its usual parking spot. A man reportedly called 911 that night, telling dispatchers he heard about the shooting and recognized that very same apartment complex. He recognized it because he would drop off his coworker there, and that coworker was none other than Charles Carson-Dowdy. Charles allegedly confessed to his coworker, telling the man he shot Starmichael like 16 times. Charles allegedly claimed that he was with Starmichael earlier. Everything was good. Then something sent him into a rage and he shot her multiple times. With a lot of signs pointing to Charles, investigators needed to find him. And with the help of Starmichael's car, they were able to. Starmichael's Jeep Cherokee reportedly caught a flat tire while Charles was trying to allegedly flee to Alabama. Charles allegedly told his coworker he was under a bridge heading to Mobile, Alabama, while waiting for someone to look at the car tire. The coworker reportedly encouraged Charles to turn himself in, but Charles allegedly said he was scared. A short time later, though, police caught up to him anyway, and he was arrested. Charles allegedly had the gun in the center console of Starmichael's Jeep, and he reportedly uttered 4 words when he was arrested. "My life is over." He was extradited back to Florida and charged with second-degree murder. He's been kept behind bars ever since. Then in late August, federal prosecutors announced charges against him too. A federal grand jury indicted him on charges of stalking, interstate domestic violence, murder through use of a firearm, discharging a firearm during a crime of violence,
And look, I'm not trying to be funny here, but I have a theory that a part of, because I'm going to be talking about vetting after this, is that I think a part of that, when you're about to date somebody, take them to go get a mug shot picture. It's something about the police cameras that when they snap a mug shot of a person, I don't know how it does it, but it somehow erases the mask and reveals what a person really looks like. I don't know what it is. And I'm not even being funny when I fucking say that. It's crazy to me. because I think when you meet somebody, you be so caught up in that first initial, like they call it the honeymoon phase. I think the first thing you need to do is take them just tell them, just for the women out there, even the guys, just say it's like as a hoax, like, hey, what we should go do, and and just make it like you being funny, like just something weird, quirky that you want to do with the person. I'm telling you, I believe that, because when you get the mug shots, it all makes sense when you really see them for who they are.
Possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. He pleaded not guilty to his charges, and his federal trial is already on the calendars for next month. If he's convicted, he's facing up to life in prison.
I'm joined now by law enforcement and
All righty. Oh man, very sad story. You could tell that police officer, he was short, he was a little snappy, and when the guy says you're good, he's like, yeah, I'm good. I'm just covering it. I'm covering it in blood. Like, he like, dude, I'm not good. Ain't nothing about this good. All right. Let's go over a vetting checklist. All right. When you're dating with somebody, once again, no plan is absolute. No plan is absolute, but it's something that can help. A vetting checklist. 5 on this checklist. Number 1, ask about past relationships. Why do you ask? Well, what you want to do is you want to listen for blame, bitterness, or vagueness. Listen for blame. Does this person take accountability? Bitterness. Are they over those past relationships or over their past issues? Are they holding on to them and now they're about to bring them into their new relationship with you? Or vagueness. What are they hiding? Criminal background, perhaps? Number 2, watch how they handle boundaries. Do they respect your time, space, and when you say no? That's important. That's the same person that's going to make it hard for you to break up with them. Number 3, observe emotional regulation. You want to ask yourself, do they escalate quickly or do they do guilt trip? That goes back to our list we were reading about how to recognize when you're in a relationship with a controlling person or a dangerous person. Okay. Number 4, very important. And they got so many websites for this. I think one of them is, even you use like True Finder, right? But Google them. Just do a basic background check. Anything that they left, did they leave anything out about themselves? Are they hiding some criminal background? And just because somebody might have made mistakes in the past doesn't mean that they're some terrible person. But to be honest with you, people that commit murder or do these violent crimes, a lot of time they don't just skip step 1, 2, and 3 and go straight to murder. A lot of times they hit these checkpoints that align, and eventually it's a path that leads to them being a murderer. Like that black guy that stabbed that woman on the train. I mean, he had been arrested before over like 15 times. So Google them. Number 5, test for empathy. Number 5, you want to test for empathy. How do they treat service workers? How do they treat animals? Or how do they treat the people they don't need? That's important. How do they treat people they perceive they do not need? Because when you are of no use of them, or when they are upset with you, how will they treat you? You can't go by how they treat you when they love you, when they like you, when you're sexing them up. No. You want to know how they're going to treat you when times are rough, when they're bad. Things not going their way. What was our second point? Remember the second point we said, watch how they handle boundaries. That goes back to that. When you set that boundary and when you tell them no, when you saw how they acted when you told them yes, but you want to know how they're gonna act when you tell them no. Okay, very, very, very important. Very important. All right. With that being said, very, very sad story. Very beautiful young lady, promising future. By all accounts, she was doing the right thing. She's a mother, and now that's a child that her child now is growing up without a mom, knowing that somebody shot and ran over your mom with a car. And there's no excuse for it. It was a 4-month relationship. They had enough time for anything really to happen. It's insane to me. 4 months. That's it. That in 4 months, think about how crazy that thought is. This woman could meet a man, say, oops, my bad. This is not the guy I should be with. Try to exit the situation. And for him to say, no, you are mine. I control you. I'm going to shoot you. Look, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's intentional. You're not going nowhere. You belong to me. Let me get my final thoughts so I can get out of here. Because after I do these news stories, I have to go. I'm not being funny. I have to go look at something funny, like some comedy or something, because it bothers me when I be reading this stuff. Like it makes me sad. It's like I don't understand why people do this to each other. And for this young man, he just threw his life away over 4 months because he did not in his life learn how to control his emotions. In his life, he didn't learn how to control his mental. A 4-month relationship and your life is gone. Years. You traded in all those years just for 4 months. 4 months, bro, you would have got over it. You would have met somebody else. Just pissed all over your life. Final thoughts are, and I have them prepared already. Starmichael Tucker was a mother, a medic, and a woman trying to leave. Her murder wasn't random. It was rehearsed in every ignored red flag, every unchecked escalation, every moment she was stalked online. If you're dating, vet deeply. Vet as long as you want. Vet as long as is needed to find everything out that you need to know. If you're leaving, leave safely. And if you're listening, don't just mourn, mobilize, because the next headline doesn't have to be yours. Okay. I want to appreciate everybody that come through. Don't forget to thumbs up the video and share this story. Or after you hear it, go sit down and talk to somebody about it. If it's somebody that you know that's in a controlling relationship, this is the time, man. Take it seriously. Take it seriously. It ain't a joke. Be there for your family. Be there for your friends. Reach out to your family. Reach out to your friends. Do not be ashamed if you're going through things. People will understand, and believe it or not, is other people out there that have been through the things that you have been through. Don't let the lies that abuser is telling you. Oh man, don't nobody care about it. Don't listen to that motherfucker, man. For real. That person is lying to you. People do care. Your family and friends, people, they care. And even people that ain't your family or friends, man, people have been through this stuff. So you tell somebody that don't even know you, but because they've been through what you've been through, they're going to care. So abuse is never okay. It is never your fault. Let me see. Let me get this real quick. I used to know it by heart. Oh, man. Where is it at? Mm-hmm. There we go. Alrighty. Okay. I be saying this just in case, for just anybody listening. So the abuse is never okay. National Domestic Violence Hotline is 1-800-799-7233. That is 1-800-799-7233. Or you can text START, START, to the number 88788. That's text START, START, to the number 88788. And that hotline offers 24/7 confidential support, resources, and safety planning. Okay. Thank y'all very much. Thank you for being here. If you like the content, be sure to like and subscribe. I like doing stories like this. All right, there we go. Like I was saying, I like doing stories like this, like bringing awareness. Definitely appreciate all of you that stayed around to go over this story with me. I appreciate you all. I will see you later. Be blessed, and I appreciate you.
Risque behavior.